Hello, beautiful spirits, and I'm so happy to be here with you today to speak about life purpose. So, have you ever asked yourself, what is all this about? What is my purpose here? What is life about? I've heard so many people ask that question, and even when they've come to me for coaching, they have asked themselves something like this. Now, I've asked myself that. I have asked myself that question, especially in bad times. So when I've been struggling right at the beginning of my healing journey, I remember asking, what is all this about? What is my purpose here? So I wanted to speak about that today and give you a bit of an insight, a bit of a step up, right? I'm not saying I'm going to reply to all that because I don't know what yours is, but there is a way of stepping up, getting to understand what it is. So, the first thing is that we are asking this question the wrong way. That is the first and probably the biggest issue here, is that we are looking at the question from the wrong perspective, the perspective that is never ever going to give us that answer. And that's why so many people are looking out there and they're trying different things, and it's not giving them that freedom, right, that they're looking for. It's not giving them the answer that they're looking for. So what on earth is that perspective? What is it that they're just not getting the answer? Why can't they even see? Why can't they even feel that? And it's because of the place they are standing at. They are coming from that perspective of ego mind, and you're not going to get that in ego mind. I've already done some videos on ego. So it's love versus ego. Ego is that part 1 and love is that part 2. So if you haven't watched that, please go back to the other videos and watch those. It will help you understand what is ego, what is love, what is the perspective of each one. But this is basically what it is. You are looking at it from that lower frequency, the frequency of ego mind. And what you need to understand is that in that lower frequency, so we are at a higher frequency when we are aligned with love, when we are aligned with a higher consciousness, with God, with the universe, whatever you want to call it. That's a higher frequency. We ascend to the 5th dimension, right? So the lower frequency is all this ego mind. And what you're going to focus on and leave day in and day out is that environment that you've created for yourself, is that perspective that you have. Is like putting on some lenses, and so everything you see is according to those lenses. So when you are asking questions, you are then looking from those lenses. So if you are always coming from that ego mind place, that is all you're going to find. So that's the frustration of people. That's why people feel frustrated, because they are not finding the answers they're looking for. They're still looking, yes, at the old answers that are coming at them. So let me explain a bit more. Einstein said that if I've got the right quote, I'm going to explain, paraphrase it actually, right? Is you cannot solve a problem from the same place that you created it. So however it was said exactly, but this is what it was meant, right? So what do we mean by that? What did he mean by that? Right. When we create a problem, it means that we ask the question, there is a problem there. And we look at life from that perspective, from that mindset, from that ego mind. So we look at life from that. And so we're trying to find the answers with those tools. But the tools that we've been using have created the problem that we want to solve. If we use the same perspective, the same environment, the same views, well, this is all we're going to find, right? So we need to create something else in order to find different answers. It's like that, with anything. Basically, you need to open that mind, which is really opening your heart, right? This is it. You need to open. People find it really difficult to do that. So even when I explain that so many times, you need to come away from that ego mind vibration and get to the higher frequency, to the frequency that, because it's higher, you look at it, you have now a different perspective and you can see different answers. You can now see all the different, it's like seeing different colors, different views. It becomes clearer because you are at the top, you are on a higher frequency. You see things clearer instead of being just in that box and all you can see is what is around you. So you need to come to the higher frequency. Now, this is what we use, for instance, in NLP. NLP is about giving our clients a different perspective. As a coach, this is what we do. We know the techniques. We know that when some client comes with a set of problems that he describes that as problems, what we see is that, okay, this is just something that you bring, and then we're going to solve that. We're going to find out what you can do with this. We are going to get creative with this. We don't get stuck there. So as a coach, I get my clients to that higher frequency with the questions I ask, with the different techniques. Remember all about limiting beliefs, about blocks, about so many things. And each person is completely different. But what I do is that I take them away from that lower frequency where they are. So it is like being in that house and not understanding what there is beyond those walls. They can't see beyond those walls. They are stuck there. So all they can see, they're asking for questions and all they look around and that's all they can see. They're limited by that frequency they are in, that wavelength, the environment, whatever you want to call it. They are limited by that. If you want to see something different, if you want to find something outside the box, you need to come away from there to a higher frequency. Because so many people don't know how to do that, this is what we're here for. And this is what I do with my clients. I mean, my whole program is about finding your freedom. And be careful, I always say, it's not finding because it's out there somewhere. It's not. It's reconnecting with that freedom that you already have. It's within you. Everything we need is in us. And that is definitely one of the big principles of life coaching. Everything you need is already within you. You already have the answers. You have the answers. I'm here as a facilitator. I'm here to help you. But I don't have your answers. You have them. The trouble is that people, they don't know how to look at that. And I understand because I started my healing journey 16, 17 years ago. So everything that I started with was my personal journey. When I started helping people, I didn't call myself a coach. I didn't even want to be anything like that. I remember a friend of mine saying to me, "Oh my gosh, you should be a therapist with the way you're helping people. It's amazing. I never thought of this. I never thought of that. Didn't even know this existed. I didn't even know this was possible. But you're opening my eyes. You need to be a therapist and help people around you." And my reaction was, "What? No, I don't want to be a therapist. That's not what I want. I want to be a writer." I always wanted to be a writer. And I was being a writer, at the time, because I was then living my dream. I started living my dream. So therapist, no. But the more I got into the higher frequency, the more God, the universe, higher consciousness was showing me what my purpose actually was. And I was being more and more aligned with that purpose. And it felt so right. It just felt so good. It fitted. It's like putting on that garment that is perfect for you. And it was like, wow, yes, this is what I've been looking for. I had no idea. I really had no idea. Now I'm using my writing, of course, to do that. That's probably why I was so eager. I always knew I was going to be a writer, but I didn't know that I was going to help people. I always wanted to help people, but I didn't know how I was going to do it. It was just, to me, it was just loving people, but I didn't know I was going to be a coach using NLP and using my own experience. And that was very important because I know how people are feeling. It's that empathy in me, but it's also having lived through all this that I can help people as well. But from where I was with the problems, yes, of course, now I know how it feels. I was able, as I was working through, and I know it's not like working, but as I was elevating, I was ascending to the higher frequency through the healing. Let's put it that way. Through the healing, I was ascending to a higher frequency. I was able to help more and more people. I mean, one thing that I remember hearing a long time ago, when I found out my relationship with money, right, with my limiting beliefs, my blocks with money, where it was coming from. And I can't remember who it was. I know I started reading Harv Eker and other people around that. And I remember one of them saying, "You cannot help poor people by being poor yourself. You cannot help people who are ill by being ill yourself," right? You need to come out of that, and then you can go back and help them. And that suddenly I thought, oh my gosh, yes, I get it now, So it's a perspective. It's your perspective. So yes, I've lived through so many of these things that now I use to help people. I mean, my whole program has got 7 steps. And believe me, I have gone through all that. I know firsthand all that I teach. Everything. It's not through books. It's not through other people. It's nothing. It is through my own journey. But if I had stayed in that place, I wouldn't have been able to help people. I mean, let's face it, the reason why I was then helping friends and people around me, colleagues, but I was helping my friends, and my friends were coming, knocking at my door all the time. "I've got this problem. What can I do? Please help, please help." And it never stopped since then. It's never stopped. But the reason why they came, one after the other, and they came back, is because I was going up in my frequency. Now I could see it from here at the top. I was observing it. I could understand. I could align with that, because understanding, sometimes people just think that it's your intellect, and it's not, right? It's definitely from your heart. This is why you need to get to the higher frequency and away from ego mind. Ego mind is going to explain to you the why this, why not, and the right and the wrong, and this is not right and this is wrong, and people were coming with that, right? So they were coming with relationship issues and do exactly what I used to do. You know, I'm the victim, they're doing this to me, and that is wrong. Yes, it is wrong. Abuse is wrong. Bullying is wrong. I mean, you know, there's so many things that I lived in my life. I look back, you know, and as a child, it is wrong. And I will never, ever be on this side of what is going on at the moment with justifying pedophilia. Never. At the moment, I say never. It is wrong. But what I learned and what I help to heal people is to look at things a different way, right? Now, I know this, you know, I touch on this abuse, and it's not about looking at the abuser in a different way. No, it's not that. As I say, there is no justifying evil. There is no justifying evil. But what it is that you look at it from a different perspective. You elevate yourself. You are not a victim. You are so powerful. You really are powerful. But this is what evil consciousness and ego mind tells you. That you are the victim. That you are in this problem. You are deep in this problem. This is what I'm saying. From that perspective, you cannot find your purpose. Because it's dragging you into this abyss, into this density. It's like being in that mud, stuck in that mud, and you try to get your feet out and it's stuck there. That is why from that place you cannot find it. You are stuck there. So you need to come up. You need to get to the higher frequency. And that's what I do. I help you doing that. It's different for each person. It is different. But, you know, even lately, so the clients that I've been working one-to-one with, it's amazing. I didn't even have to get to that place, right? What I did is I went through my program. Within 3-4 sessions, and I know my sessions are not like 1 hour, my sessions are however long they need to be, right? They came to me. I didn't ask them. We didn't even touch on that, about the creativity part as such. They came to me and suddenly I could see, you know, it's so wonderful because as a spiritual coach as well, and you know, obviously I work on the relationship, and that is a relationship with yourself. That is with your higher consciousness. That's on the spiritual side as well. You know, when people think it's just very much about that practical side, that third dimension, that ego place, that's where it is. You are just stuck in that one environment, and this is why people don't get results. So when I work on everything in the way I work with, or as, I look at the person. And it's not just about the physical, it's not about their body, it's about everything. And when they come to me and it's almost like uptight, you know, it's like they're contained in this body. And sometimes even just after the first session, but definitely like the second, their disposition is different. Their spiritualities are different. They're suddenly aligning with that. They don't even have to say it, but they're aligning, and then they say, oh, I just feel a weight has been lifted. And that's what it is, you see. Your feet are not stuck in that mud anymore. It's like, wow, you are flying up, you are elevating in that place. And so I feel that. I feel their vibration. that energy, that loving energy is suddenly showing in such a beautiful way. And they come to me and say, hey, guess what? I've started doing this. I've taken this hobby or this creativity back on, and suddenly it's like, and do you know what? I've just realized that this and that, and it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. If I'd asked them that the very first time, and I do that through an exercise anyway, they do a couple of exercises I give them, and they're really stuck there. I know that exercise is to open a little bit their heart, really, but they feel stuck there. They don't even know really how to complete it. And sometimes I just I've done that question, and then they open their heart and they are finding that purpose. They cannot have done that before. And I mean, they could not do that before. But as I said, after a few sessions, it's that freedom. They've opened that and they know. But at least they start on the way there. Because the purpose that you think you have is an idea that you feel that you have to do something, that it's like a job. My purpose is a job. What is my mission? What is my job? What am I here for? And I hear actually lots of people, they say, oh, I obviously was meant to do this. And yet they don't really like it. They don't have a heart. They're not aligned spiritually with that. So very often we even have a conception of what a purpose is, and that might not even be what you're really after. But you can only align with that when you are really in that place where you are at a higher frequency, because now you are not confined in that limitation, that house. You know, you have now gone outside those walls. And from there, you feel that you breathe. You know, breathing is life, isn't it? And very often we don't even give that the attention it deserves. We do things, well, we breathe and we eat and we do things automatically. From that lower frequency, there is a big difference. There is a real big difference. If you want to understand what life is all about, you really need to ascend to the higher frequency. You really need to come away from that ego mind that is keeping you prisoner of that perspective. That is all there is in life. And as I said, Einstein said to you that you cannot find a solution to a problem from that same perspective that you created the problem. When you ask yourself a question, you need to have a different perspective. This is why coaching is wonderful. I am coached as well. I mean, don't think that because we are coaches, we don't need that. I self-coach, so I coach myself, I go through that, and then I get someone to coach me. When you are not in that perspective, in that problem, so I am asking the question, you know, I've got this, oh my gosh, I need to find a different solution now. I need to find something. When I go and find a coach, and it's a coach who knows what they're doing, okay, because everybody at the moment is calling themselves coaches, and that's probably, you know, everybody gives themselves a title they want to give themselves. But if they're not really aligned, if they don't really understand that, it's not really going to work. So of course I go to a coach I know, because I know how they operate. I know they know the techniques, but they also have aligned with a higher self. So I go to them, and suddenly it's wonderful. Doors open, opportunities come up, and it is like the light is on. The light is on. So this is what I wanted to explain to you today, and it's gone on a little bit longer. But please, if you are stuck, if you feel that there is no purpose for this, if you can't find your purpose, if you feel frustrated, please find yourself somebody who knows how to help you get to the higher frequency. Please. You are so important. You came here for a purpose because you are part of this planet. You know, you are part of the whole. You are not here to be disconnected from everybody else. You are not. So I implore you, please connect with that, because you are important for all of us. We are all here for a purpose. That purpose, of course, is love anyway, right? That purpose is love, is joy, is to be part of the whole, is that oneness. But then how you align with that, how you connect with that, is your uniqueness. It's your uniqueness. You are important to all of us. This is why I do that. You know, if I came from the place of, oh, well, I found my purpose, I know that, I don't really care, I really wouldn't come from the right place. I know in my heart, I know in my whole being that we are all connected. We are all here for a purpose. Some people, it is true, they have chosen that evil consciousness. I know, and this year we are finding more and more and more people we admired, we put on maybe on a pedestal, that we thought they were wonderful people, who suddenly are showing us that their choices comes from that evil consciousness. That's what it is, and that's their decision, that's their choices. But we are really all here as the essence of love in this physical body, and we all need to connect with that. That is our power. And I know that this is why I want to reach out to everybody. I want you to connect with that love within. I want you to smile. I want you to feel that joy, to feel that unconditional peace, to be right at the top there. Because in that place, there is no competition. There is no, lack. Like, I'm better than you, and that, there is none of that. We are all there helping each other, and it's a beautiful place to be. It's a beautiful place to be. That's why I want everyone to get to that place. Is our power. Love is our power. So if you want to know more, leave some comments here. Get on my website, get on my weekly letters. I am putting a new one on there, so I will be putting a link there as well. You've got all the links here as well, so go on there. Get to my membership or my mastermind club, because there I do coaching and I do a lot more in-depth things. So this is just like the beginning, the introduction. In my membership, I give the hows, I give the steps, and I give a lot more. So get on board if you want to know more than this. If you want to know all the hows, get on board. This is already opening your mind, right, or your heart, but get on board. Put questions here if you want, and send messages, but please, don't stay stuck. We need all of you, and we need you. We need you to know your power in that love, that essence of love that you are. So I hope that this has opened your heart, that it's given you that hope, that it's given you that desire to get aligned with that purpose for yourself. You came here for a reason. You came here for a reason. Please don't leave this this physical life, frustrated, still looking for something, come on. You are unique and you came here for a reason. So if you've liked this video, please share it, please like it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's going to help me reach out to more people. It's so important that we all come together. So I'd love for you to share it, to like it, to put a comment. That would be wonderful. And I thank you for that. So that's it for today. And please know that you are unique. You are the essence of love. And you know, you came here for a reason. We are all in this together. You are a magnificent being. You are a magnificent being. You're the extension of the universe, of God, in this physical body. And you are a powerful creator. So get creating in that love. Have a beautiful day, beautiful evening, wherever you are. But I just want to say, you are not alone. You are loved. You are so loved. You are not alone. I'm sending you lots of love wherever you are. And I do honestly love you. Love you all. We are all the essence of love. Until next video, lots of love. Bye-bye.